Hi everyone, my name is Lexa and I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. Until I figure that out, I'm going to be interviewing people from different careers and asking them how they got to where they are. I created Behind the Career for high schoolers like myself who want to explore different jobs. Today we're interviewing Alex, who's in corporate development and business development. Let's see what he has to say about it. So thanks so much, Alex, for being on this podcast.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so that's a very intimidating title, and I can imagine a lot of high schoolers, including myself, don't really know what that includes. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So many companies, especially when they get a bit bigger, have these functions called corporate development and business development. In our corporate development, we think about what are other businesses out there that we might be able to buy to bring into our company and combine the people and the technology with our business to make it a better service. And the business development side is more along the lines of commercial deals with other companies. My job really is making sure I understand what's going on in the market, what are all the little and big technology companies doing out there, and seeing if there are opportunities.
So you really emphasize communicating with other companies. What does that look like? Can you expand on that?
Yeah, sure. Where it starts is just getting to know someone and getting to know a company. So I spend a lot of time in, it's really a lot like dating, actually. I spend a lot of time with one-off conversations. So someone that I won't know will reach out, or I'll find them and reach out to them and say, hey, do you want to have a quick either 30-minute Zoom call, or do you want to grab a coffee if they're in the Bay Area? And getting to know a little bit more about their business and their company. Again, with the idea of, is there a way for us to do something together? Is there a way for us to work together to bring a technology together? So that's a lot of the kind of the day-to-day. Do a lot of these conversations, but at the end of the day, what I get measured on in our company is getting things done. And so then you negotiate a deal with the other company, you get very specific. What is the business deal? To start sketching that out, and what are the terms of that? And then at some point you bring in lawyers who then have to write contracts and figure out what are the details behind how we're going to work together, how are we going to set the price, how much are we going to benefit from it, how much is the partner going to benefit of it. And so then you negotiate a deal with the other company, you get very specific and detailed about it.
So, Alex, taking a step back, I know that you went to law school and then were a lawyer. How did you transition from that to where you are right now?
I majored in economics in college because I thought that was an interesting area to learn about how the economy works. It was very interesting to think about what the rules are of society, really, and the economy. Because why are the rules and the laws the way they are in the United States? I thought that was very interesting, which is what drew me to go to law school. And then in law school, I thought business law was very interesting. So how commercial contracts work, what the rules are around contracts, like if one person breaks a contract, what happens? That was very interesting to me. And then that led me to work as a lawyer. There's a lot of different opportunities for lawyers, actually, but I went to work for a large law firm, which is just a large group of lawyers, helping them do contracts. If one company wants to buy another company, how do they negotiate that? I did that for 4 years. I got to know people in another company, which was in a bank, actually, and they liked the way I worked, and they offered me a job in finance, even though it was a different kind of career path, because I knew enough about how to do these acquisitions. On the legal side, they thought I would be good on the finance side as well. And so from there, I kind of transitioned into a business role. And that was about 20 years ago. And I've been in a business role ever since.
Interesting. Okay, so you mentioned a lot of interacting with others and a lot of communication as something that's a really big part of your job. Would you recommend this to people who are really good with people, or who would you recommend this job to?
Yeah, I think you have to be very curious, interested in learning new things. And I think also comfortable with not always knowing exactly what the right answer is. But at the end of the day, I think you said it exactly right, which is, are you someone who likes people, is empathetic? And what I mean by empathetic is you can put yourself in the other person's shoes and really kind of see their perspective and how they think. And that's really important, because when you're putting business deals together, it has to work for both people. It has to be good for you and it has to be good for them.
So, for those people who do fit those criteria, what are some experiences or classes that they should think about?
I think what's underrated, especially in the world now where technology gets so much attention and people are focused on tech, is the ability to communicate is so important. And I think the ability to be a good writer is something that is super underestimated. But there are so many people that know technology really well and can't describe it. They can't articulate it. So I think if you're a good writer, that's a super valuable skill. I think that obviously goes across lots of different areas, not just technology.
Okay, and then just kind of closing out, any last pieces of advice for high schoolers?
Now, this is a general answer, but one of the harder things to do as you're growing up, and I think in life, is find out what you're really interested in. Because if you find what you're interested in and passionate about, even if that doesn't end up being, and it probably won't end up being what you do for the next 50 years of your life, you will learn something there that will probably take you somewhere else. At least that's what happened to me. Like I thought going to law school was interesting, so I went there. I thought being a lawyer was interesting for a little while, so I went there. Because I found that interesting and developed my skills, it took me to another path and then another path. Steve Jobs had a quote that said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward," which means when you look back, you can connect the dots of what got you here, but it's very hard to plan out, and you probably shouldn't plan out forward, like what every dot is going to be.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Alex, for being on this podcast.
Thank you.